Okay, so imagine this for a second. You're rummaging through one of those dusty antique shops.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know the kind. Smells like old paper and cedar. You're flipping through a bin of, I don't know, random stuff, and you find this thick brown envelope.
Mm-hmm.
It's brittle, clearly old. And on the front, there's a faded label that just says, Irem's Playground.
That sounds like the start of a mystery novel. Or maybe a horror movie, depending on the font.
Right. Your mind immediately goes to, what, rusty swing sets? Maybe a creepy merry-go-round from the 1920s?
A literal playground.
A literal playground.
Yeah.
But if you actually bought that envelope and pulled out the contents, which is this set of 24 vintage postcards, you'd realize your imagination was completely off base.
Way off. Because Irem's Playground wasn't a place for kids to, skin their knees. It was a window into this massive, often overlooked slice of American social history.
We're talking about the golden age of fraternal organization.
Exactly.
So today, we are opening that brown envelope. We're doing a deep dive into the story of the Irem Temple Country Club in Dallas, Pennsylvania. This is where, the detective work begins.
This is the part I love. In the world of deltiology, that's the technical term for studying postcards, the physical card tells you the date before you even look at a postmark.
Okay.
These cards are described as having a white border.
Which signifies a really specific era.
It does. The white border era generally runs from about 1915 to 1930. Before that, postcards had images that went right to the edge, full bleed.
So why the change?
Well, during World War I, ink got expensive, and the really skilled German lithographers were unavailable for obvious reasons.
Right.
So American printers started leaving a white border around the image just to save money on ink.
That's a fascinating economic footprint left on a piece of cardboard. It's like carbon dating, but with printer margins.
It is. But there's another clue on these cards that narrows the window even tighter.
The stamp box.
The stamp box. On the back, where you'd put the stamp, these cards specifically say 2-cent stamp.
And that little detail places the production run firmly between 1915 and 1923.
Exactly. So we are looking at images from roughly 100 years ago.
And the branding on them says A.A.O.N.M.S.
Which is, that's a mouthful.
I practiced this one. Ancient Arabic Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine.
Nailed it. Which we know today simply as the Shriners.
Exactly. And we need to kind of set the context here. In 2024, you might think of Shriners mostly for the little cars and parades or their incredible children's hospitals. But in the early 1920s...
Oh, this was a powerhouse social network. It was the LinkedIn of its day, but with way better hats.
Right. If you were a man of means or ambition in America in 1920, you were probably in a lodge.
For sure.
Okay. So the Irem Temple in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, wanted to leverage that network. They didn't just want a meeting hall in the city.
No, they wanted a destination. And that is where Irem's Playground comes in. The source emphasizes that this was a leisure culture.
It wasn't just about rituals or secret handshakes.
Not at all. This property in Dallas, PA, was a social extension of the temple. It was where the fun happened.
And it's crucial to visualize what these postcards depict. Because when you buy a tourist postcard today, you get a picture of a mountain, a beach.
A sunset, yeah. These cards were different. They showed interiors.
Interiors, like dining rooms, grand halls, social spaces. Why would someone buy a postcard of a dining room? That feels so strange to us now.
To brag, it's early 20th century Instagram.
Wow.
These cards were documenting elegance. They were signaling to the members and to the envy of non-members that this was a place of prestige.
It captures the vibe of the era perfectly. It wasn't just about being there. It was about proving you had access to that level of luxury.
And the fact that this was a whole set, 24 cards, all in that original brown envelope with a specific production marking a little C on the front.
It suggests they were sold as a souvenir series.
You'd buy the whole pack, maybe to keep as a memento of your summer retreat, or to send out to brothers and other lodges to show off what your temple had built.
It just freezes that moment when these fraternal orders were arguably at the absolute peak of their social influence in America.
For sure.
So we've established the vibe, 1915 to 1923, exclusive, high society, Irem's Playground. So here's what we want you to think about as you go about your week. Look around your own town. Maybe there's a golf course, a large banquet hall, or an old building with a strange symbol etched in the stone near the roofline.
If you dug up the postcards from its founding, what would you see?
The history is there, hiding in plain sight. You just have to be willing to open the envelope. Thanks for diving deep with us today.